Thanks, Fabio. Nice to see you here again. And, you have made a lot for European Telecom, so it's good to see you here and to listen to your introduction. I agree very much with one of the things you said, and that is about what net neutrality is. I think everyone knows what net neutrality is until they are to define it. And then you have a lot of answers, and I think it's very much the answers are what you want and less what it is. And I think the pure fact that this concept is a rather vague and nebulous concept makes it important that you ought to be careful about how to deal with it. That is my first reflection. My second reflection is about an old expression that is not today gender correct, but you have all heard it, and that is the saying that behind every successful man there is a surprised wife. If you transfer that to a more modern and gender correct expression, it's not sounding as good, but behind every successful partner you have a surprise partner. It doesn't sound just as good, but my point is that behind the internet stands surprised world. The engineers, the IT people, the business people, the users, everyone is surprised. And I would like to stress one thing, and that is that and you all know it, especially in a group like this, we all know it, but internet is very new. It is a striking thing because it's so central and dominant for everything we do today. So it's difficult to accept the fact that the internet, as we know it today, is with the web, etc., is something that emerged around 95, 96, and still is so dominant in defining all sectors of our societies, business life, information, media, revolutions, warfare, peace, economy, industry, financial markets. It's very difficult to imagine the world of today without the internet, and it's not an additive function, it is a central function defining a lot of our parts of the society. I say this because I don't think we have seen the end of the internet as well, or the final development of the internet. Internet will develop and develop very much more. And that's why I think it's extremely important that internet is free. And I think it's important that you're careful when to regulate it. And I think it's also important that when you define and discuss all these things about net neutrality, be very careful about how to regulate it, because the risk is that you're hindering much more than you're safeguarding, because you don't know really what you are up to. Because I can assure you, we will be surprised tomorrow and the day after tomorrow as well. And if we want to be surprised, and I think we need to want that, we need to be very careful. I think there is a fundamental and principal important difference between access and content. I think it is absolutely very good if you have an opportunity to have different prices, and if you can pay more to get more, because that's a crucial solution. If you are to get more in the future, you need to be able to pay for it, because if no one will be able to pay for getting more, you will not have the pressure on the development to deliver more. That's very easy. But freedom on the internet doesn't mean that everything is free. A free society doesn't mean that everything is free for you. There ain't no free lunch, not even free breakfasts, because you need to pay for the services. What I think is important is that you don't regulate in a way that you're hindering people the access to content, but you are to be able to pay for more or less capacity. Let's make the comparison with the car industry. You can pay for a more expensive car that can bring you more rapid to different destinations. You can travel fast, and you can reach wherever you want. It would be very awkward if the car producers told you not to go to Gothenburg or to Antwerpen. You can buy this car, but you are not allowed to go to Italy. You can buy this car, it's very slow, etc., but you must not go to etc. And I think this comparison is important because the development of the internet has been an inter-exchange between the destinations and the access to capacity. The new services that are emerging, and let me just mention the word that is so very usual today, and that is the word of apps, which also are quite new. I think if I say that they are more or less 3 years old, someone here will say, no, it's 3.5 years. You're wrong, Gunnar. But there's something there. And they have created a totally new way of using the internet. And from my point of view, operators can offer more capacity, higher speeds, etc. That's fine with me, as long as they are not trying to block the services. Because if they are trying to block the services, they are blocking the demand to use the internet and the access. And this is, in the end, I would say, very much a matter of capacity. And I think a lot of operators are in some way happy, I don't say very happy, but happy enough to stay with the capacity they have today and get the old investments paid, so to say. But it's a matter of capacity. I remember in Sweden, some Swedes are here, during the time of monopoly in television, people defending the monopoly said that there is only the technical opportunity for one channel in Sweden. They were very eager to say that because the frequencies are so complicated, so you can only have one. And then suddenly it emerged that you could have two because the monopoly suddenly had two channels. So it was possible to have two channels. And this was no net neutrality, you say, because they blocked the services by claiming the lack of capacity. And then research, I might sound ironical now, and I am very ironical about this debate. You could suddenly see that you could have 3 channels, and then we got rid of the monopoly. And today, you all know we have 200 or thousands or whatever. I mean, there is no restriction. And this has made the issue about blocking the services, so to say, safeguard the monopoly or restrictive amount of channels, it's an obsolete issue. And I think a lot of the issues we are talking about here today, about what some people mean with net neutrality and some others do not mean with net neutrality, is very much about capacity. And I think, and that has to do with a more overwhelming goal, I think it's important that Europe is in the lead regarding capacity and speed, because let's remember what's at stake. It's the emergence of new services, a new economy, the digital economy, competitiveness, knowledge society, knowledge economy, all these things are interconnected with issues about how well we are performing. So my view is fair enough capacity and speed. You can demand more, but then you can pay for more, but do not block the services. And that's why I think one shall be very careful about regulating the issue about net neutrality, but rather regulating what you shouldn't do rather than regulating what you should do. Thank you very much.